All right, you guys. So we don't need any extra materials for the class today. You guys just need your mat and then some water if you would like. We're actually gonna start with our mat a little bit differently. So you should already have your mat spread out. Go ahead and come down, and I'm gonna have you roll your mat up. So just like you would normally, start on one end and make it tight as you roll that mat all the way up. I know it seems silly, you just unrolled it to take this, but trust me, it'll make sense in a minute. All right, you guys. So once your mat is rolled completely up, go ahead and make your way back up to stand. So once you're standing, you're gonna bring your toes and right about through the arch of the foot onto the mat. Basically, you wanna have your heels hanging off. So bring the toes, bring the balls of the feet, bring the arches onto that mat. Heels are hanging off. Take your hands to your hips. Stand up nice and tall. Give me an inhale. Lift your heels up. Come onto your toes. Exhale, sink your heels down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So we're starting with just a few calf raises here. Just to start to warm up those lower legs, but it should also be a nice stretch here for those calves. Should feel good to release those heels down to the ground. And then all the while, start to tap into that deep connected breath in the rib cage. So if you'd like, you can even take your hands off the hips and take them up onto your rib cage so that you can find that deep connected breath. So as you're inhaling to lift the heels, think about expanding through your rib cage, creating space. And as you exhale, knit the ribs together. So if you take your hands onto your rib cage, you should be able to physically feel the rib cage expand and then contract. Release the heels down, pause. Now we're gonna take that same idea, we're gonna take it into our prances. So keep the left foot as is, lift that right heel up high, and then switch it out. Right heel down, left heel up, and switch. So meet both heels up in your high heel position before you transition to the following side. So you're still inhaling, floating the heels up, and then you exhale to take that single side release. Now if you want a little bit more of a balance and stability challenge, feel free to pick up the pace a little, also to get that heart rate up, or you can keep it slow. But once again, you're keeping that breath in the rib cage, abs are pulled up and in, shoulders stacked on your hips, and gazes forward. All right, you guys, one more either side. And go ahead and release both heels down. Step your feet off of your mat. So feet are right behind your mat. Take your right foot back on top. So right foot, keep it weightless. All of the weight into your left foot. Curl your right toes under and then shift some weight into that right foot. So kind of think like a ballerina point shoe here. So your toes are curling backwards, and what you should feel is a solid stretch through the top of the foot coming up through your shin. Now this is what you make of it. So depending on your ankle mobility and how everything's feeling today, maybe just a little bit of pressure is enough. If it feels okay, really start to give it that pressure and feel that lengthening stretch. Now if you need to back out of it, you can as well, or maybe sink it a little bit deeper. And then whenever you're ready, back out of it and release that right foot down. So take the left foot on top, curl the toes back, press your foot into that mat. Think about shifting a little bit of that weight more into the foot. You feel that stretch through the top of the foot coming up through the shin. Take it a little bit deeper if that feels okay. One last breath here. And then go ahead and relax that foot off the mat. Now keep your mat as is for a little bit more balance. So from here, step your left foot onto your mat. Right foot is not on it. So just the left foot. Step it towards that front edge of your rolled up mat and shift all the weight into your left foot So your right foot is now just dangling, it's just hovering. Flex your foot so you should feel the back of the leg activate. Hands to your hips. Now as you inhale, slide that right leg forward. So it's just a little kick forward. Exhale, squeeze it back to center. Now inhale, lift it out to the side. Exhale, squeeze it back to center. Inhale, slide it back behind you. Exhale, bring it back to center. So we go forward, back in, side, back in, behind, back in. So as you go forward, you feel the top of the thigh. As you go to the side, you feel the outer, and as you go behind, you feel the back. So starting to warm up that entire thigh. All the while though, your left foot has all of your weight. So that left leg should start to fire up as well here. Make sure you don't lock out through the knee. Find a spot to focus on to maintain your balance. And if it's too much to be balancing on your folded mat, you guys, you can always unroll it. So that's always an option. So unrolling it, and then you take out that little bit of extra height. Now on this next one, sweep it forward, hold. Keep your leg long. We're gonna circle. Circle it out to the side, take it back behind you and pull it through. So it's a little half circle here. You make that rainbow shape and then that straight line back through. Keep the foot flexed. Now on this next one, let's reverse it. So slide your right leg back, out, around, and forward. So same idea, that little half circle, just switching the direction. 2 more here. And bring it back in, step the right foot down, shake out that left leg, and then let's switch it out. So right foot steps on your mat as long as it still feels okay to be rolled up. Remember, you can always unroll it. Shift all the weight into your right foot, so now your left foot's just dangling. Soft bend in your right knee, hands on your hips. Flex your left foot so you feel the leg activate. Inhale, slide it forward. Exhale, slide it back in. Inhale, out to the side. Exhale it back in. Inhale it behind. Exhale it back in. So remember, you've got quad as you slide it forward, top of the thigh. You've got outer thigh or your abductors as you go out. And then you've got glute hamstring as you go back. Now all the while you're challenging your balance as you hold on that right leg, keeping your gaze forward, and maybe challenging yourself to lift that leg a little higher in each direction every time you go. Now we're going to do one more set like this, and then we're going to take it into our half circles. So on this next one, slide it forward, hold. Circle it out to the side, back behind, pull it through. So around and pull it through. Find your spot to focus on to maintain your balance. One more like this, and then we'll switch direction. So leg is forward, sweep it back, around, and back forward. All the while, keep the foot flexed, keep squeezing through that leg. 3, 2, last one here. And release the left foot down. Come off of your right foot. If you have yet to do so, go ahead and unroll your mat. So roll it all the way back out, just like normal. Once it's rolled all the way out, come to the back edge of your mat. Take your feet parallel, hip distance apart. Inhale, circle, sweep the arms out to the side and up. Take your gaze to the ceiling, reach through your fingertips. Exhale, flip your palms forward and start to slowly roll it down. So first big stretch here, just notice where your hands are landing. If your hands aren't touching the mat, bend your knees until they do. Really spread out through your fingertips, release your head, shake the head, little yes, little no. We're gonna deepen the stretch in the backs of your legs here. So if you have that bend, go ahead and extend back through the legs. Float your hands to your shins, arms nice and long, and inhale, flatten out your back. So it's a little half lift. So with your half lift, gaze is down and forward. You're pulling that belly button back towards your spine. And once again, the stretch through the backs of the legs should intensify. Exhale, release. Inhale, take it to that half lift. Lengthen through your spine. Exhale, release. So keep it going to your own pace of breath. I want you to think about the crown of your head and your tailbone reaching in opposition. So crown of the head is actively pulling forward, tailbone is actively pulling behind. Let's go ahead and do 2 more. Last one here. Release it back down to your forward fold. Once again, you want your hands on that mat. Bend your knees however much you need to. And we're going to use our hands to walk out to a plank. So walk it out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Come into your plank and hold. Now, if you need to come onto your elbows for a forearm plank, by all means do so. So belly button's pulling back towards the spine. Hips are pressing down to your mat. Weight is shifted forward. Wrists right under your shoulders. Make sure you're breathing as you hold. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bend your knees. Send your hips back towards your heels. Stretch your arms out long. Find your child's pose. Put pressure into your hands. Slide it up so you're on hands and knees. You're on all fours here. So wrists right under your shoulders, knees under your hips. If you look back behind you, you shouldn't be able to see your feet. Inhale, lift your head, lift your tailbone, let the belly drop. Exhale, tuck your chin, round your back, pull your belly button back towards your spine. Inhale, lengthen it out, and exhale to round. So just taking it to a few rounds of cat-cow breathing. Should feel good on the spine here. Last one like this. And bring it back to a neutral spine. Now from here, carefully come off of your hands. So you're shifting the weight back towards your heels. We're gonna double up your mat really quick here so you have some support for your knees. So just pull it a little bit forward so you've got a couple of extra layers where your knees can go. So once you've doubled up that mat, take your knees on top and your hands are back out in front. So you're right back in that tabletop position. All we've done is just added a little bit of extra support. All right, so from here, you're gonna keep the left knee down, but we're gonna float the left foot off of the mat. So left foot's off the mat. Now from here, I want you to bring that left foot, twist it to the left side as you float your gaze over that left shoulder. Bring the left leg back through center and then twist it to the right, gaze over back of your right shoulder. So you bring it through center, twist it left, gaze follows, bring it back through center, twist it right. So you're twisting through the spine as we work through some hip mobility here. All the while, belly button's pulling back towards your spine. Bring it back to center, hold, extend your right leg out. Excuse me, your left leg. So we're staying on the left. So hips are squared to your mat, left leg is nice and long. Keep it straight. Now here, take it to the left. Gaze over your left shoulder. So it's the same idea. All we've done is straighten the leg. Bring it back through center and reach it over to the right. Gaze follows. So sweep it over to the left. Sweep it back behind to the right. So same thing. All we've done is just extended that leg out long. So especially if you're sweeping that leg up high, you'll feel your glutes activate here as well. All right, you guys, let's do one more set. Bring the left leg back to center, bend your knee, bring the left knee down. Now if you want to come off your hands, you can. Give your hands and your wrists a break if you'd like. Or you can immediately bend that right knee, sweep that right foot up towards the ceiling, slide the right foot to the right, gaze over the right shoulder, and then take it to the left. So we're keeping the knee down to start, just taking it side to side. Now we'll do one more set. Bring it back to center, extend extend the right leg out. Hover your foot up and off the mat. Hips are squared, point your toes. Now sweep it to the right, gaze follows. Lift it up and over and behind to the left. So think about a little rainbow of your leg. So when you're passing through the middle, you're hitting that high point. Once again, you want to feel the glutes activate here. All right, last set here. Bring it back through center and then bend that right knee down. Shift the hips back towards your heels and find that child's pose. Once again, you can roll out your wrists if you would like. All right, so from here, go ahead and press yourself up. You guys can extend that mat all the way out long so you're no longer doubling it up. Now from here, we're gonna come onto your stomach. So bring yourself down onto your stomach. Bring your hands right underneath your shoulders. Squeeze your elbows in tight to the body. Rest your forehead on the mat. Now we're gonna start with just a low cobra here. So inhale, press into your palms, lift the head, lift the chest. So it's a very low lift here to start. Just a low cobra. Squeeze those elbows in tight. Exhale, release it back down. Inhale, take that cobra, little lift, and exhale to lower. So even though it's just a little back bend here to start, you should still feel the upper arms really activate because you're squeezing those elbows in so tight. Now on this next one, hold at the bottom. Hover your hands off the mat. So elbows are still squeezing in just as tight, palms are just right above that mat. Inhale, find that same low cobra. Exhale, release it down. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. So it's the same thing here. We've just taken those hands out of the equation, so it's more core. Really press your hips into that mat. We're helping to lengthen and strengthen your lower back here. On this next one, I want you to hold. Just hold in that cobra, palms hovering right under your shoulders. If you want a little bit more, squeeze through your booty, lift those thighs up and off the mat. We're just holding. Squeeze those elbows in. Gaze is staying down and forward. Let's hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and release it down. Keep your hands pressed underneath your shoulders. Give me a big inhale. Press yourself up into that swan or that upward dog position. Opening through your chest, rolling your shoulders down. The back gaze is forward. Exhale. Bend the elbows, bring it back down. Let's do 2 more. Inhale, press into your palms. Lift, lengthen. Exhale, release it down. Last one here. Inhale, lift, lengthen. Maybe lift those thighs up and off the mat. And exhale, bend the elbows, release it down. Let's take it back into one last child's pose to stretch through the lower back. So hips reaching back for your heels. Stretch your arms out long. Go ahead and slowly restack your spine. Come up tall and have a seat. So once you're seated on your mat, separate your legs out just about mat distance. They're a little bit wider than hip distance here, and actively flex through your feet so your toes are straight up to the ceiling. Take your arms out to a wide T. Now before we move into saw, I want you guys to really focus on lengthening your spine sitting up tall. So just holding in this position, you should feel everything in your body activating. Everything should be feeling fired up. Inhale, you're up nice and tall. Exhale, rotate towards your left side. Now from here, inhale, reach that right pinky for the left pinky toe. Reach it. 1, 2, 3. Lift and exhale, return back to center. Inhale here. Exhale, rotate. So reach it. 1, 2, 3. Lift, rotate back to center. So this is our little saw exercise. So think about almost a little scoop as you reach. So you're lengthening through the arms, but you're also trying to bring your torso closer to the thighs. And it's not just about that arm that's forward. Think about the arm behind you. It stays active, it stays long and lifted. Now let's make this one your last one to the right. Bring it back up to center. Take your hands down to the mat. Now from here, bend into just the left knee. Bring the left sole of your foot to the right inner thigh. So right leg hasn't moved, foot is still flexed, left sole of the foot to the right inner thigh. Now, once again, posture and alignment is crucial here. So I want you to be up nice and tall. Take your arms up by your ears. Now from here, rotate from the entire torso towards your right leg. So notice it's not just the arms or the head, it's your whole torso. Rotate. So you should feel that twist coming from the left side. Inhale, sit up a little taller. Exhale, fold it from the hips. Reach it for that left foot. So you're trying to pull your torso towards your right thigh, nose to knee. Now hands can wrap around the calf, ankle, or the foot, wherever they're landing today. But I want you to be extra mindful about keeping that torso rotated towards the right leg. So you're actively pulling that left shoulder down, nose towards the knee. So not only should you feel a nice stretch through that right leg, you should actually feel a lot of stretching coming from your QL, your quadratus lumborum, here on the left-hand side. So right towards that mid-lower back point, you should feel a lot of stretch. All right, now we're gonna get out of this nice and slow. So we're still working on the way out of this. So you're still down, you're still pulling nose towards your knee. Float your hands off of the foot, ankle, or the calf. Frame your ears, lift and lengthen yourself all the way back up tall. Release the hands. Extend your left leg out long, and then fold your right leg in. So right sole of the foot to the left inner thigh, left foot is still flexed, arms up by the ears. Sit up nice and tall. Now remember, the entire torso, let's rotate to the left. Gaze is towards your left foot, sit up nice and tall. Inhale here, exhale, hinge it from the hips, fold it forward. Hands wrap around the calf, ankle, or the foot. Keep pulling that right shoulder down, nose towards your knee. So think about it as an active stretch. So not passive, you're not just kind of hanging out in it. Each time you exhale, you're dropping deeper into the stretch. One last big breath here. Now once again, keep it low. One hand at a time, up and off that left foot. Reach up high to the sky, lengthen, lift, and then release. Keep your right leg as is. Just bend that left leg back. And you're right in our mermaid position. Arms back out to that T. Inhale, take your right hand to the mat, left arm up and over by the ear. Exhale to press it back up. Inhale, side bend. Exhale to lift. Let's do 2 more here. Breathe space through that left side body. Press it back up, hold. Once again, twist through your torso, twist to the left-hand side, float your left hand towards your left foot, and then right arm up by the ear. Really lift and open your chest. Keep your gaze at your left foot. And if you want to increase your twist, right hand can meet the left at your left foot. Last big inhale here, and with your exhale, right arm back up by the ear, and go ahead and release that twist. So let's switch out legs. So left leg comes in front, right leg bends back behind, arms go back out to your T. Inhale, take it to that side bend. Exhale to press it back up. Side reach, and release. So lengthening through that right side body as you get that little crunch through your left obliques. Last one here. Bring it back up. And then from here, twist through the whole torso to the right. Right hand will float to the right foot. Left arm goes up by the ear. Open your chest. And then if you want to increase your twist, go ahead and float that left hand down to meet the right. Last big inhale here. Take that left arm back up by the ear. And exhale. Go ahead and release that twist. All right, let's stay seated. go ahead and take your feet right to that front edge of your mat. Ground down, toes through the heels. Take your arms out in front. Sit up nice and tall. Give me an inhale here. As you exhale, tuck your chin. Start to round your spine. Slow C curve up the back. Pulling that belly button back towards your spine. Releasing the spine down one vertebra at a time. Head is last to release. And then arms can go down beside you. Walk your heels in towards your seat. We're going to bridge a little bit. So feet can be separated about hip distance. Heels through the toes pressing down, arms pressing into the mat. Big inhale here. With your exhale, lift your hips. Roll your spine up. Inhale to hold. Exhale to release it down. Inhale it at the bottom. Exhale, lift the hips. Roll the spine up. Inhale to hold. Exhale to release. So really think about taking your time, rolling the spine up and rolling it down. So a good visual is if you think about your spine like a strand of pearls, just lifting and lowering one pearl at a time. Now on this next one, hold your bridge. Hold your bridge and give me little pulses through the hips. So hips are dipping down an inch, up an inch. Tiny, tiny pulses here through the hips. Really squeeze through your booty. Now hold those hips up high. Inhale, lift the heels, come onto your toes. Exhale, release the heels down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So just like when we first started, nothing else is moving, just those heels lifting and lowering. Now hold the heels up high and once again pulse the hips. Down an inch, up an inch. Now this is where we're going to finish off our bridging. If you would like, arms can float up towards the sky. Fingertips are reaching towards the ceiling. Arms nice and active just for a little bit more instability. Pulse it out here to finish, you guys. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Big inhale here with your exhale. Release the spine, release the hips, relax your arms down. Extend that right leg up high to the sky. Wrap your hands behind your thigh, or if you'd like, lift the head and walk the hands up a little closer towards the foot. Give that right leg a gentle pull in towards your body. Go ahead and release the right leg, extend the left leg up. Now same thing, head can lift if you'd like, it doesn't have to. Go ahead and release your head down if you had it lifted. Pull your knees in towards your chest, wrap your arms around your legs, give yourself a nice hug, and if you'd like, give it a little rock side to side. Now keep those knees in towards your chest. Open your arms out to a T position, palms turned up towards the ceiling. Drop your knees to the left and take your gaze over to the right. So just a little gentle twist here through the spine. Use your obliques to pull the knees back through center. Drop your knees to the right, take your gaze to the left. Once again, utilize those obliques to pull those knees back to center. Bring your hands to rest on top of your legs. And instead of rocking left and right, softly pick up the head, start to rock it back and forth on the spine. Get a little bit of momentum going. So you can finally rock and roll all the way up to seated. Extend your legs out long. Last forward fold here. Big inhale, lift the arms out to the side and up. Exhale, fold it forward. Reach for those calves, ankles, or the feet. Drop the head. Last big inhale here, and with your exhale, slowly restack your spine. Head is the last thing you lift. All right, you guys, you made it. Thank you so much for joining me as we went through a little Pilates flow, and I'll see you guys next time.